Before you begin your day, before the rush takes over, stop just for a moment. What if this isn't just another morning? What if today, right now, is a divine invitation to breathe deeper, trust more, and remember that you are not alone? You didn't land here by accident. There's something your soul has been yearning for. Peace in the chaos, strength in the struggle, light in the waiting. Psalm 27 is more than ancient poetry. It's a lifeline for the weary, a refuge for the anxious, and a quiet answer to the question you've been carrying in your heart. Will I make it through this? In this video, we will walk through the sacred words of David, words written in darkness, but filled with unshakable hope. Together, we'll rediscover what it means to trust when everything feels uncertain, to wait with faith when nothing seems to move, and to worship even when the answer hasn't come. If your heart is tired, if fear has been louder than truth, if you've been holding on but feeling close to letting go, this prayer is for you. Stay with me. Let's step into the presence of the one who sees it all, holds it all, and promises to carry you through it all. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. And today, hope rises again. Before the world stirs and responsibilities begin to demand your attention, there is a sacred pause waiting just for you. In this quiet space, before emails, before noise, before the weight of the day returns, your soul longs for something deeper than routine. It longs for light. Perhaps you've woken up today carrying a quiet heaviness, a sense of uncertainty that lingers even after a full night's sleep. Maybe you're facing battles others don't see, decisions you don't know how to make, pain you don't know how to name, prayers you've whispered for months with no clear answer. And yet, this morning, God has brought you here for a reason. This isn't a coincidence. It's a divine invitation. Through the ancient, tender words of Psalm 27, God is reminding you that you are not walking into this day alone. David, a man who knew fear, betrayal, and the constant threat of danger, began this psalm not with despair, but with declaration. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Imagine the courage it takes to speak light in the face of shadows, to proclaim salvation when the enemy surrounds you. This is the invitation for your heart today, not to ignore the darkness, but to proclaim who your God is in the middle of it. God is not just a distant light. He is your light, not just a savior of history, but your present salvation. You don't have to carry your fears into this day. You don't have to walk into the unknown, relying only on your own strength. God's presence is already ahead of you, softening what feels harsh, illuminating what feels unclear, preparing what feels uncertain. The Lord is your stronghold, your safe refuge, your sure foundation. And as you begin this new morning, let this be your confession, not just with your lips, but with your soul. I will not fear. I will not give up. I will not let the shadows define me, because the Lord is my light. And if your voice feels too weak to say it, let this prayer speak for you until you're strong enough to believe it again. Because healing begins here, not always with instant answers, but always with honest surrender. So take this moment, breathe in grace, and exhale the weight of yesterday. Let this be your morning offering, a heart that chooses to believe again, a soul that turns its face toward the light, and a life that waits on God with hope. This is not just another day. This is a holy beginning, and you are not forgotten. You are loved, held, and led by the one who never fails. When David declared, The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? He wasn't speaking from a place of ease or certainty. He was speaking from the middle of the storm. The stronghold he referred to wasn't made of stone walls or earthly defenses. It was something far stronger, the unwavering presence of God. Life has a way of shaking even the most secure places in us. One phone call, one unexpected diagnosis, one moment of loss, and suddenly, what felt stable begins to crumble. But here's the truth your heart needs this morning. There is a refuge that cannot be touched by circumstances. A shelter not made by hands, but by the love of the Almighty. When fear whispers that you're alone, God stands as your fortress. When anxiety rises and the ground beneath you feels uncertain, His presence becomes your unshakable ground. Maybe you're facing battles today that no one else sees. Battles in your mind, in your relationships, in your sense of worth. And yet, here in this sacred space, you are invited to hide in Him, not to escape life, but to be strengthened for it. The stronghold of God is not a place of hiding from responsibility, but a place of healing, restoring, and renewing your soul, so you can rise again. Like a child running into the arms of a parent during a storm, you too are safe in the arms of the Father. His love wraps around you, not with judgment, but with protection. It is not weakness to run to God. It is wisdom. Let this truth settle in your heart today. You are not defenseless. You are not unprotected. You are surrounded by the strength of the One who holds the universe and holds you. Whatever today holds, you can face it, not because you're fearless, but because the One who defends you never sleeps, never abandons, and never loses a battle. So as you step into the unknown, breathe this promise in deeply. The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Let it echo louder than fear, and let it become the foundation you stand on when everything else feels unstable. You are held. You are covered. You are safe. Of all the things David could have asked for, victory over enemies, a long life, or material blessings, he chose one simple, sacred request. One thing I ask from the Lord, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek Him in His temple. This isn't just a poetic longing. It's a heart that has discovered what truly satisfies. In a world that constantly pulls us in different directions, where our attention is scattered and our hearts grow weary from chasing approval, success, and certainty, this verse brings us back to what matters most. God's presence, not His gifts, not His answers, just Him. Maybe you felt that ache inside, the quiet yearning that no achievement or relationship can fill. That's not failure. That's your soul remembering where it belongs. David's one thing becomes a mirror for us. What is the one thing we truly seek? Because whatever we seek first shapes everything else. To dwell in God's presence isn't about escaping life. It's about bringing your whole life into alignment with His peace, His wisdom, His strength. It's the deep exhale your spirit needs, the place where burdens are released and hearts are restored. When you seek His beauty, it begins to heal what's broken in you. His presence softens what's hardened, revives what's grown numb, and breathes hope where hope has faded. Let this be your prayer today. Lord, let your presence be my home. Not just on Sundays, not just in the quiet, but in every moment, in the ordinary, in the hard, in the waiting. I don't need to have it all together. I just need to be with you. This morning, as you center your heart, Remember, what you seek will shape what you find. And when you seek the Lord, you will find not only beauty, but wholeness, purpose, and a love that never lets go. David continues, "For in the day of trouble, he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his sacred tent and set me high upon a rock." These words are more than poetic. They are a promise carved from a place of real pain and real trust. Because trouble will come. It doesn't skip the faithful. It visits the weary, the hopeful, the obedient. But this verse is a gentle reminder that God's response to our trouble is not abandonment, but shelter. Not silence, but safety. When the winds of life howl and the waves crash, there is a sacred space, unseen by the world, untouched by fear, where your soul can rest under the wings of the Almighty. Maybe today you feel like you're in that day of trouble. Maybe it's a diagnosis that changed your world, a betrayal that shattered your trust, or a silence from heaven that feels unbearable. And yet, even here, even now, God is not far. He is near, not just beside you, but around you. He hides you, not to isolate you, but to heal you. He lifts you, not always to change your circumstances, but to give you higher vision, perspective. From the rock who never moves. Let this be your assurance. God's tent is open. His shelter is ready. His arms are wide. You don't have to earn his protection. You only have to enter it. And when the noise of the world grows loud and fear comes knocking, you can whisper, "I am hidden in him." You are not forgotten in your trouble. You are cradled in sacred space, guarded by the love that sees all and still holds tight. Today, may you rest in that shelter. May you rise from it stronger. And may you know that even when everything feels unsafe, you are safe in him. And then, in the midst of the chaos, David makes a surprising turn. "Then my head will be exalted above the enemies who surround me at his sacred tent. I will sacrifice with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to the Lord." This is not the reaction of someone whose problems have vanished. It is the posture of someone whose heart has been lifted higher than the weight of their worries. It's the decision to praise before the breakthrough, to sing even when tears are still falling, to worship even when the answer hasn't come. David shows us something sacred here, that praise isn't reserved for perfect moments. It's a lifeline in the midst of battle. Maybe this morning you feel surrounded by fear, by failure, by disappointment. But what if your song is the very thing that lifts your head again? Not because circumstances have changed, but because your focus has. Praise has power. It shifts your gaze from the storm to the Savior, from what's lacking to what's eternal. And even if your song is quiet, trembling, or broken, it still reaches heaven. Your worship is a weapon, not of noise, but of surrender. So don't wait until you feel strong. Sing now. Sing because you trust, not because you see. Sing because joy isn't always found. It's sometimes chosen. As you begin this day, whisper his name, hum a melody of hope, or simply breathe a prayer of gratitude. Because when you sing in the shadows, the enemy loses ground, and God draws near. In your offering of praise, your soul will remember who you are and whose you are. You are not a victim of your circumstance. You are a worshiper in the midst of it, and that changes everything. David's next words echo with raw humanity. "Hear my voice when I call, Lord. Be merciful to me and answer me." It's a vulnerable plea. A moment of honesty we've all felt, but may not have had the courage to say aloud, God, please hear me. Have you ever prayed like that? Not with eloquent words or perfect faith, but with a trembling heart that just needs to know it's not alone? This verse gives permission to bring our desperation into the presence of God, not to hide it, not to fix it first, but to lay it bare before the one who understands. David, though called a man after God's own heart, still begged for mercy, still cried out for a response. And so can you. Maybe you've been carrying a silent burden, smiling on the outside while your soul quietly aches. Maybe you've been praying for something that seems delayed, or you've been met with silence so loud it makes you question if God is still near. But let this remind you, heaven is not deaf to your pain. Your voice doesn't have to be strong. It just has to be real. God is not moved by performance. He's moved by truth. And when you cry out, He bends low to listen. He gathers every word, every tear, every whisper. You are not praying into an empty sky. You are speaking into the heart of a Father who never turns away. So this morning, don't hold back. Call on Him. Ask boldly. Trust deeply. And even if the answer doesn't come the way you expect, know this: the very act of reaching out is healing. It connects you to the source. It reminds your heart that you are not abandoned. You are heard. You are seen. And you are deeply loved by a God whose mercy always meets those who call. David then writes, My heart says of you, seek His face. Your face, Lord, I will seek. There is something deeply sacred about this moment, a quiet stirring from within, a gentle whisper that bypasses logic and speaks directly to the soul. Seek Him, not just His help, not just His blessings, but His face, His presence, His character, His nearness. This is where transformation begins, not in the outer changes, but in the inner turning. Sometimes in seasons of struggle, we're tempted to seek answers more than intimacy, to chase solutions instead of connection. But here, David reminds us that true peace doesn't come from getting what we want. It comes from being with the one who never changes. Maybe today your mind is busy with questions. When will this end? What should I do? Why is this happening? And yet, deep down, your heart is already pointing you in the right direction. Seek His face. That inner longing is the Holy Spirit drawing you closer, not because God is hiding, but because He wants to be found in stillness, not striving. In seeking His face, we remember that we are more than what we fear, more than what we lack. We are children, welcomed at the table, invited into the light. Seeking God is not about perfection. It's about posture. It's the heart that says, Lord, I don't have all the answers, but I want to know You more. So as this day unfolds, let your prayer be simple but powerful. Your face, Lord, I will seek. And in that seeking, you will find rest for your anxious thoughts, strength for your weary spirit, and joy that rises even in the dark. And then comes one of the most tender truths in all of Psalm 27. David, the warrior, the king, a man after God's own heart, speaks of a pain so many of us know but rarely voice. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. It is a holy confession of abandonment, of human love that fails, and of divine love that never will. Some wounds cut deeper than we show. Rejection, neglect, betrayal by those who were supposed to protect us. You may carry scars from a parent's absence, a partner's silence, or a friend's betrayal. And perhaps those old losses echo even now in your adult soul, whispering lies that you are unworthy, unlovable, unseen. But David speaks directly to that ache, not with false promises, but with eternal truth. Even when the people we depend on turn away, God leans in. When others walk out, he steps closer. His love is not based on our performance, nor is it conditional on our past. He does not love us because we are perfect. He loves us because we are his, and his arms are always open, even when the world's doors close. If today you feel unseen, unwanted, or unloved, if you've ever sat alone and wondered, who would come for me? Know this: the Lord receives you, not reluctantly, not with disappointment, but with open arms and joy. In his eyes, you are never a burden. You are beloved. You are chosen. Let this truth become the balm for your soul. Human love may falter, but divine love never does. You are received. You are wanted. And in the heart of God, you have a home that will never forsake you. As Psalm 27 draws to its close, David offers a final invitation, one that speaks directly to every weary heart, every soul in waiting. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. These words are not passive. They are powerful. Because waiting on God is not weakness. It's one of the greatest acts of faith. To wait is to trust when you don't see. It is to hope when nothing changes. It is to believe that what God promised, he will fulfill, even if it takes longer than expected. Maybe you're in a waiting season right now, waiting for healing, waiting for reconciliation, waiting for direction, for breakthrough, for peace, and the silence feels endless. But know this: waiting does not mean God has forgotten you. It means he is preparing something deeper, something greater, something not just for you, but in you. The delay is not denial. It's design. It's a holy space where your roots grow deeper, your faith grows stronger, and your soul learns too. Lean, not on outcomes, but on the one who holds the future. David's command is gentle but firm. Be strong, not in your own strength, but in the strength that comes from knowing you are not waiting alone. God is working in the unseen. He is moving in the silence. He is holding you even now. So do not let go of hope. Take heart. Breathe again. Lift your eyes not to the clock, but to the cross. Your waiting is not empty. It is holy, and when the time is right, the God who promised will open the door. Until then, trust him. Worship while you wait, and believe that your story is still unfolding under the care of a God who never wastes a moment. So now, beloved soul, as this reflection draws to a close, let your heart breathe in the stillness of God's presence and rest in the truth of his word. You are not alone in your journey. The same God who walked with David through battles, betrayal, and long nights is walking with you now. He is your light when the way feels dark. He is your salvation when fear rises. He is your stronghold when life shakes. And as you move into this day, whether filled with joy or uncertainty, may this prayer rise from within you like incense. Lord, I come before you with open hands and a quiet heart. You are my refuge and strength. Even when I do not understand, I will trust you. When I feel abandoned, I will remember you receive me. When I feel weak, I will rest in your power. Teach me to seek your face, not just your gifts. Teach me to wait, not with bitterness, but with hope. I surrender my plans, my fears, my waiting, all into your hands. Let my life become a place where your beauty dwells and your peace remains. And no matter what today brings, let my soul declare, you are good. You are faithful. You are here. Let that prayer carry you through whatever lies ahead. Speak it when you feel strong. Whisper it when you feel broken. And know, without a shadow of doubt, that the God who began this good work in you will bring it to completion. So rise, child of God, not in your own might, but in the strength of the one who goes before you. Wait for the Lord. Be strong. Take heart. And never forget, you are loved, you are chosen, and you are held in arms that will never let go.